Most people don't lose to the world. They lose to themselves before the world even shows up. Let that sit with you for a second. It isn't the competition that breaks you. It isn't the economy. It isn't your boss, your neighbors, your haters, your family, or the bad luck you swear keeps chasing your name. It's that quiet moment at night when the alarm rings at 5 and you hit snooze. It's that promise you made to yourself that you casually break when nobody's watching. It's that little voice that says, tomorrow, and you listen like it's your best friend, not realizing it's the thief of your life. You don't get defeated out there, you get defeated in here. And that's the part nobody wants to talk about. Because it's easier to blame the world than to look in the mirror and admit, I don't even have control over myself yet. I've seen grown men complain about respect when they can't even control their temper. I've seen talented women talk about big dreams while their discipline collapses after 3 days. I've seen people demand success like it's a right, not a responsibility. And every time it's the same story. They want to conquer the world, but they haven't conquered their own mind. You want power? Control yourself first. You want peace? Control yourself first. You want success, respect, money, freedom? Control yourself first. Because the world doesn't bend for the undisciplined. It crushes them. I learned it the hard way. There was a time in my life when I thought life was against me. Nothing worked. Doors closed. People doubted me. Opportunities slipped through my fingers like sand. I remember sitting alone in a small room, lights off, staring at the ceiling, feeling like the whole world had decided I wasn't enough. And you know what hurt the most? Not the rejection, not the silence, not even the loneliness. It was the truth I didn't want to face. I wasn't losing because the world was unfair. I was losing because I was inconsistent. Some days I worked hard. Other days I didn't feel like it. Some days I believed in myself. Other days I quit mentally before I even started. I wanted results with half effort and full excuses. That's not strength. That's self-sabotage. See, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being reliable, about being the kind of person who shows up even when it's ugly, even when it's boring, even when nobody claps. Because life doesn't reward hype. It rewards control. Control over what you do when you're tired, frustrated, broke, heartbroken, doubting yourself. That's where your future is decided. Not on your best days, on your worst one. Anybody can be motivated when the sun is shining. Anybody can grind when the money is flowing and people are cheering. But what about the night nobody calls you? What about the morning you wake up heavy, chest tight, mind clouded, and still have to move? That's the test. That's where character is built. I remember walking home after a long day, shoes worn out, pockets empty, pride bruised. I passed by people laughing in restaurants, couples smiling, cars driving by like life was easy for everyone but me. And for a second, I wanted to quit. I wanted to blame everything. I wanted to say this system is broken. This world is unfair. But then something hit me hard. Nobody was coming to save me. No hero, no miracle, no perfect moment, just me. And that's when I understood something that changed my life forever. If you can't command yourself, you will always beg the world. Beg for opportunities. Beg for validation. Beg for luck. But when you control yourself, you don't beg. You build. You wake up early not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. You train your body even when it hurts. You read when your friends are scrolling. You save money when everyone else is spending. You stay calm when people try to provoke you. You become dangerous. Not loud, not flashy, quiet, focused, unshakable. And that kind of person, the world respects them without being asked. Let me ask you something. How many promises have you broken to yourself? How many starting Monday speeches have you given your own life? How many times have you said, this is the last time, and then did it again? Every time you break your word to yourself, you lose trust in yourself. And when you don't trust yourself, how can you expect confidence? Confidence isn't talk. It's evidence. It's looking back at your life and saying, when I say I'm going to do something, it gets done. That's control. That's power. People think discipline is punishment. It's not. It's self-respect. It's telling yourself, I deserve better than my own laziness. There were nights I worked while everyone slept, not because I was special, not because I was inspired, because I was tired of disappointing myself. You ever feel that? That quiet shame? When you know you could have done more, but you didn't? That feeling stays with you. It follows you. It whispers, you're capable of more, but you keep choosing less. That whisper will either break you or wake you up. For me, it woke me up. I stopped negotiating with myself. No more maybe. No more a later. If I said 5 a.m., it was 5 a.m. If I said 1 hour of work, it was 1 hour. If I said no junk food, it was no junk food. Small wins, tiny victories, but they stacked. And something strange started happening. Life didn't get easier. I got stronger. And when you get stronger, everything feels lighter. Problems that used to crush you become inconvenience. Insults don't sting as much. Rejection doesn't paralyze you because you're not fragile anymore. You've trained your mind like a muscle. Control yourself first, because the world will test you in ways you can't imagine. People will lie to you. Friends will disappear. Plans will collapse. Money will run dry. Your heart will break. And if you don't have control over yourself, every storm will knock you down. But if you do, you stand there like a mountain. Wind hits, rain hits, loss hits. You breathe and keep moving. I've met people with talent who failed because they lacked discipline. I've met people with average ability, credible lives because they were consistent. Talent is flashy. Control is unstoppable. Talent burns bright and fades. Discipline burns slow forever. And here's the dark reality. Nobody posts on social media. It's lonely. Self-control is lonely. While everyone else is celebrating, you're working. While everyone else is sleeping, you're planning. While everyone else is comfortable, you're uncomfortable on purpose. You miss parties. You miss shortcuts. Sometimes you even miss people. But what you gain is yourself. And that's worth everything. Because once you own yourself, nobody can manipulate you. Nobody can tempt you easily. Nobody can scare you into quitting. You become your own leader, not a follower of moves. Not a slave to impulses, a leader. And leaders don't wait for the world to change. They change themselves first. Then the world has no choice but to respond. Think about it. You can't control the weather, but you can control whether you show up. You can't control whether you show. But you can control how hard you work. You can't control opportunities, but you can control whether you're ready when they come. That's the game. Preparation, composure, discipline. Over and over and over. Boring, repetitive, unsexy, but deadly effective. The world doesn't fear noise. It fears quiet, disciplined people who never quit. Because those people always arrive, maybe late, but unstoppable. So when you walk out of here tonight, don't chase motivation. Motivation fades. Chase control. Control your morning. Control your habits. Control your mouth. Control your anger. Control what you consume. Control what you tolerate. Control what you say yes to. Control what you say no to. Little by little, piece by piece, you start building a version of yourself that you actually respect. And when you respect yourself, something changes in your eyes. People see it. They feel it. You don't have to announce anything. Your presence speaks because deep down, everyone recognizes discipline. It's rare, and rare things are valuable. One day you'll wake up and realize something beautiful. The world didn't change. You did. And suddenly doors open. People listen. Opportunities appear. Not because life got easier. Finally became someone ready to carry the weight. So remember this when it gets hard, when you're tired, when you're alone, when you want to quit. This is the price. This is the cost of becoming dangerous. Control yourself first. The world comes later. Master your mind before you try to master your circumstances. Win the morning before you try to win the year. Beat your excuses before you try to beat your competition. Because if you can look in the mirror and say, I run my life, my habits don't run me, then there is nothing out there that can truly stop you. Nothing. And one day, when people ask you how you made it, you won't talk about luck. You'll just smile a little, tired but proud, and say, I learned to control myself. And that is where everything began. And when everything finally begins to move in your favor, when the doors start opening, when the money starts coming, when people suddenly act like they believed in you all along, that's when the real test begins. Because success doesn't destroy weak people. It exposes them. You ever notice how some people finally get a little progress and then fall apart? They get in shape, then stop training. They make money, then start wasting it. They earn respect, then let their ego ruin everything. Why? Because they never mastered themselves. They just rode a lucky wave, and waves crash. Control is the only thing that stays. I've seen men build empires and lose them in a year because they couldn't control their pride. I've seen brilliant minds sabotage their future because they couldn't control their. I've seen talented people throw away decades of work for 5 minutes of impulse. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. A moment of weakness. A moment where emotion takes the wheel. A moment where discipline goes silent and everything you built burns. That's why this isn't just about grinding hard. It's about emotional control, mental control, spiritual control. Because life will provoke you on purpose. It will send disrespect your way just to see if you react like a child or respond like a leader. Someone will insult you. Someone will doubt you. Someone will try to bait you into drama. And in that moment, you feel the fire rise in your chest. Your heart beats faster. Your jaw tightens. You want to explode. But here's the truth nobody teaches you. The strongest person in the room is usually the quietest one. Not because they're weak, because they don't need to prove anything. They already own themselves. When you control yourself, you don't react. You choose. That pause, that tiny space between what happens and how you respond, that's power. That's where grown men are separated from boys. That's where women become unshakable. Anybody can throw a punch. Few can walk away. Anybody can scream. Few can stay calm. Anybody can chase pleasure. Few can delay gratification. And those few, they build everything. Because they're not distracted every 5 minutes by feelings. Feelings change. Standards don't. There were days I didn't feel strong. Days I doubted everything. Days I questioned if all this discipline was even worth. You think disciplined people wake up inspired every morning? No, we wake up tired too. We feel fear too. We get lonely too. The difference is simple. We don't negotiate with feelings. Feelings are weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes stormy. But you don't cancel your life because it's raining. You grab a coat and you move. That's control. You don't say, I don't feel like working. You say, work gets done anyway. You don't say, I'm not motivated today. You say a motivation isn't required. You don't say a life is unfair. You say, good. I'll get stronger. See how different that mindset is. It's not emotional. It's grounded. It's steady. It's dangerous because a person who doesn't rely on mood cannot be stopped by mood. And that's most people's weakness. They wait to feel good before they act. But winners act and then feel good after. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. I want you to picture something. It's late at night. Everybody's asleep. The house is quiet. Your phone is right there calling your name. Your bed is warm. Your mind says, just rest. You deserve it. Start tomorrow. That voice sounds kind, doesn't it? Soft, comfortable. But it's lying to you. That voice has stolen more dreams than failure ever did. Because that sounds harmless. So you listen. And days turn into months. Months turn into years. And one day you wake up older, wondering where your potential went. I've seen that look in people's eyes. Regret. Not because they tried and failed, but because they never controlled themselves enough to try consistently. That's the worst pain. Not effort, not sacrifice. Regret. Regret is heavy. It sits on your chest at night. It whispers, you could have been more. Discipline hurts in the moment. Regret hurts forever. So pick your pain, the pain of waking up early, or the pain of staying average, the pain of training, or the pain of insecurity. The pain of saying no to distractions, or the pain of watching everyone else move ahead while you stay. You don't escape pain. You choose it. And control people choose the pain that builds them. Every single time. Let me tell you something I wish someone told me when I was younger. Nobody is coming to manage your life for you. Nobody is coming to fix your head. Nobody is coming to force you to become great. Freedom is beautiful, but it's also brutal. Because freedom means responsibility. It means if you don't control yourself, life will control you. Your addictions will control you. Your fears will control you. Other people's opinions will control you. And you'll wake up one day realizing you've been living someone else's life. That's a quiet tragedy. Smiling outside, empty inside, all because you never took ownership. Control is ownership. It's looking at your flaws and saying, that's on me. No excuses, no blame, just responsibility. That's where strength begins, because once it's your fault, it's also your power to fix. And that's the moment everything changes. You stop pointing fingers. You stop complaining. You stop waiting. You start building, brick by brick, day by day, habit by habit by habit. Until one day you look back and don't even recognize the person you used to be. The weak version, the emotional version, the distracted version. Gone. replaced by someone calm, sharp, grounded, someone who walks slower but hits harder, someone who speaks less but means every word, someone who doesn't chase respect because respect follows them naturally. That's what happens when you control yourself first. The world really does come later, because by then, you don't need the world's approval. You've already earned your own. And that's the most powerful feeling a human being can have. So tonight, when this speech ends and the lights go out and it's just you again, no crowd, no music, no noise, it's just you and your choices. That's the battlefield. Not tomorrow, not next year, tonight. Will you control yourself, or will you keep surrendering to comfort? Because your future is not built in big moments. It's built in small private decisions nobody sees. And those decisions, they're waiting for you right now. So stand up tomorrow like a soldier, not angry, not loud, just disciplined. Tie your shoes, do the work. Keep your word, stay calm, stay focused, day after day after day. And one day, when life tries to test you, you won't shake because you'll know something most people never learn. You already won the hardest fight, the one inside yourself. And once you win that fight, there is nothing on this earth that can own you again.